Right now at 10, the Trump administration is issuing a warning about Tylenol, how experts are reacting after the drug is allegedly linked to autism. And it's been 1 year since the bus rapid transit system was implemented. We'll check in to see if the $1 million project is working. Plus, federal funding is ending for a deaf-blind assistance program. We'll have the impact facing local students. That is all coming up on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson. Eric Franke is off tonight. Thanks for joining us. We begin as storms move through the Madison region. We've been following this all night. Blaze, do we have any more showers on Radar 3000?
There are a few rain showers out there, but most of that activity, at least the thunderstorm activity, has pushed further south, even beyond Dubuque, or has been really isolated to the Milwaukee area. We do find some lingering showers stretching from Dubuque all the way back just south of Platteville into New Glarus. This is where a little bit more of that rain activity is showing up on Radar 3000 at the moment. But we don't find any thunderstorm activity until we break into Walworth County and southern parts of Jefferson County. That's where this storm has really started to stall out or slow on down. So maybe some heavy rain is the main threat right now, but some strong wind gusts as well as some hail may be possible with that storm pushing more into Milwaukee right now. So from this point onward, we are looking at just an isolated chance for showers and maybe a thunderstorm. We're looking here at our Queen Bee radio sky cam out there in Platteville. We may see some flashes of lightning from that storm as it continues to push off towards the south, but temperatures continue to remain on the warmer side in the 60s right now. It is still humid outside, too. So Future Track is going to take us through the rest of this evening. Showers and thunderstorms will continue to push off towards either the southeast or the southwest. Waking up Tuesday morning, partly sunny, maybe an isolated shower or two, but as we go throughout Tuesday, we're going to lose that southerly wind and have northerly winds take over. So that thunderstorm threat is going to be very isolated, and we may squeeze out a pop-up shower or two as we go into the afternoon hours underneath partly sunny to mostly cloudy conditions. In the full forecast, we'll look at some of the viewer photos from around the area, as well as talk about what and if there are any more rain chances in the extended forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thank you, Blaze. And now to breaking news out of Sun Prairie. The school district there released personnel records of Robert Gilkey Meisegeyer. He is the former West High School dean charged with child sex crimes. The records provide a clearer timeline of when district staff was made aware of Gilkey Meisegeyer's alleged allegations, as well as when action was taken. The former dean is charged with child exploitation and possession of child pornography. The district's independent investigation into his actions is still ongoing. And today, the president and White House officials said pregnant women should avoid taking acetaminophen, an active ingredient in Tylenol, they say because of alleged links to autism in children. However, many in the medical community are pushing back against the announcement. Erica Brown has more from Washington, D.C.
President Trump announced Monday that the Food and Drug Administration will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, an active ingredient in Tylenol, during pregnancy could be associated with an increased risk of autism in children.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
For decades, acetaminophen has been considered the safest over-the-counter medication to treat pain and fever in pregnant women. And the president said pregnant women could consider taking the medication for extreme cases while consulting a physician, but warned most against taking the drug.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
The medical community has largely assessed that a number of factors could contribute to the development of autism in children, and that the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy is safe. Canview, the makers of Tylenol, issued a statement saying taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risks this poses for expecting mothers.
Tylenol, acetaminophen, is safe in pregnancy. If you have a high fever during pregnancy, that can cause neurodevelopment issues in the baby. So you don't want to let that fever go untreated. Right. And, you know, pregnant women may have pain, and that's not something that should go untreated either.
Dr. Celine Gounder, CBS News' medical contributor, says today's announcement could lead to confusion among pregnant women on which drugs could be taken safely. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
And we spoke with local autism experts and loved ones of those with autism about the president's announcement. Jenny Price's teenage son was diagnosed with autism 13 years ago. She says today's address reminds her of when she was told all the things her child would not be able to do. Both her and the experts we spoke with believe that the focus should be placed on accommodating rather than finding a cure for something that is mostly genetic.
Autism is a part of neurodiversity that just deserves to be celebrated.
I think we just want them to actually pay attention to what people are asking for, what would make people's lives better day to day, because this isn't it.
Now, Kenvue, the makers of Tylenol, issued a statement saying taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise. A Republican manufacturer running for Wisconsin's governor as a supporter of family values has been found to be following numerous sexually explicit accounts online. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel is reporting that Bill Berrien unfollowed 23 online accounts in recent days after the newspaper asked about the matter. Those accounts include a non-binary pornography performer and several other accounts involving sexually explicit essays. Berrien has been critical of transgender people in the opening weeks of his candidacy. Now, Berrien did respond to the newspaper's report on the social media platform X, saying, quote, "They came after me with the same failed attacks they tried with President Trump. Garbage political hits didn't slow President Trump down, and the Democrats and the media's latest attempts to keep me out of this fight won't work either," end quote. Now, the Washington County executive and only other Republican in the race declined to comment, as did the Wisconsin Democratic Party. Well, today is the 1-year anniversary of Bus Rapid Transit. That's Madison Metro system defined by those red lanes, quick stops, and electric buses. But it's also been known for its fair share of route issues, driver concerns, and logistical errors. Our Maddie Heimsch has a progress report after 1 year.
Bus Rapid Transit was long advertised as a way to get riders across the city of Madison more efficiently. But now, a year into operations, is it showing signs of success?
And we still are kind of fine-tuning and tweaking the existing equipment and systems that we brought on.
Metro Chief Development Officer Mick Roosh says last year's nearly $200 million overhaul of Madison Metro was unprecedented.
A third of our fleet became all electric overnight. I don't think there's a lot of systems around the country that rolled out as many things as we did all at one time.
But he says issues like door malfunctions and drivers having to maneuver to the middle of the road stops have been resolved.
So we think we've got that pretty much under control.
All as Metro plans to continue its rapid growth with the north-south route.
So we already have the route running. We've already got the buses. So it's just a matter of building the stations and some of the infrastructure on the street.
Preliminary data shows an 18% increase in ridership between the end of 2023 and the end of 2024, which was just after the east-west route was introduced. And riders we spoke to said despite a couple bumps in the road, their experience on BRT has been largely smooth.
I feel like the rapid transit's easier than to find the numbers.
Right, and the buses are bigger and more comfortable.
Yeah, more comfortable, yeah.
So I took the 28, and that was really difficult because there's a lot of students, and you felt like you were a sardine, but now it's much less crowded.
The north-south route is set to begin its services in 2028. Reporting in downtown Madison, I'm Maddie Heimsch, News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. The union representing Madison Metro drivers recently came to a contract agreement with the city of Madison as well after nearly a year of negotiations. The new 3-year-long agreement comes with wage increases and additional protections for workers who face assaults on the job. Well, construction on a homeless shelter on Madison's east side is expected to be complete in early 2026. But the mayor said the shelter still needs millions of dollars to fully function. Today at the construction site, Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway toured the nearly completed building, and she addressed the shelter's potential, as well as the hope that it will become the first 24/7, 365 days a year homeless facility in Madison.
We must unlock that potential. That means coming up with more than $4 million that it will take to operate this shelter 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
The mayor emphasized that private sectors are joining her in helping community members in need. And earlier this month, the State Department of Public Instruction announced federal funding is ending for the Deaf Blind Technical Assistance Project. The program serves 170 students from birth to the age of 21, 85% of whom have 4 or more disabilities. It provides services to deaf-blind students so needs are met in the classroom, lends equipment to families, and also sign language learning for families, among other things.
Community and group and just the knowledge base there of trying to work with a special needs kid that's deaf and blind. It's very specific, and so there's some unique challenges. And this group has really helped connect us with people and do stuff there. And they've been a huge support for our school district, and then like our speech therapist, OT, and like everybody there.
The U.S. Department of Education stated the program, quote, reflects the prior administration's priorities and policy preferences and conflicts with those of the current administration, end quote. The program is set to end at the end of this month. Well, the musical Hamilton is returning to the Overture Center with tickets set to go on sale Thursday. The show recounts the rise of founding father Alexander Hamilton. It's won a Grammy, 11 Tony Awards, and more. The shows will take place from January 6th through the 18th, and the Overture says there is a maximum purchase of 8 tickets per account. A lottery for 40 $10 tickets will also be held closer to those show dates. And you can begin buying tickets this Thursday at 11 a.m. at the Overture's website or in person at the office. A link to purchase can also be found on our website, channel3000.com. Well, next at 10, late night host Jimmy Kimmel is set to return to TV after all. And confusion over the Trump administration's new visa fees, the concerns from U.S. tech companies that rely on skilled foreign workers. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back, everyone. The Walt Disney Company is ending its suspension of Jimmy Kimmel's late night show on ABC. They announced last week that they would take it off the air because of comments he made following the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Los Angeles.
Disney issued a statement on Monday announcing Jimmy Kimmel Live will be back on the air in its regular time slot Tuesday night. The company says it spent the last several days having thoughtful conversations with Kimmel before deciding to resume the long-running late-night show. ABC suspended Kimmel indefinitely following comments he made about the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Disney says it made the move last week to, quote, avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country, and that the company felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. Kimmel's suspension and subsequent comments from the FCC chairman sparked a free speech debate and protest by TV writers and producers, including a rally earlier Monday in front of the Los Angeles theater where Kimmel tapes his show. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Today, FCC Commissioner Brenda Carr denied that he had threatened to revoke ABC's local station licenses because of Kimmel's remarks. Well, a costly new worker visa application fee from the Trump administration is raising some concerns. The White House is clarifying the details of a proclamation President Trump signed requiring a $100,000 fee for new H-1B visa applications. On social media, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt wrote that the rule only applies to new applications. Google employees spoke out against the rule, which could have a bigger impact on companies that rely on skilled foreign workers.
And I know from speaking with my coworkers on visas that they are scared that if they demand fair treatment at work, they will be retaliated against. So I call on all Googlers to stand in solidarity with our immigrant coworkers because we cannot fight any of this alone.
Now, the White House says it is being imposed to, quote, address the abuse of the program. The H-1B visa rule is set to expire after a year, but could be extended. Well, showers and storms are expected to continue through the night, but will our skies clear out? We have meteorologist Blaise Keller here with the answer. Hi, Blaise.
Hello, and we will see those showers and thunderstorms continue over the evening. We had a lot of photos sent in from viewers across southern Wisconsin. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler for sending in this very beautiful photo of what we call Madison clouds. So when you get some rain-cooled air that starts to drop from the thunderstorm, but it's meeting drier air, so it kind of creates these little bubbles, if you will, hanging out from underneath the storm. You can see his photo along with many others by heading over to our website underneath the weather tab. And if you have any photos from tonight's storm, you can submit them there or by scanning that QR code. Additionally, we may have seen a little funnel cloud right here out in Lodi. The National Weather Service, we sent this along to them. They'll verify whether or not this was an actual funnel cloud. But Dan Schultz captured this around 6:30. So again, we have to send some of these photos and these videos that you guys send to us to the National Weather Service because they're the ones who make the official report. But any and all photos, videos of any type of weather event we will gladly take, and again, we'll pass them along to the National Weather Service for their records as well. We're going to say goodbye to the thunderstorm threat as we head into Tuesday. Likely going to be dealing with just isolated showers. That'll continue into part of Wednesday, and then from there, we start to dry on out. The reason is because northerly winds are going to be taking over as we go into Tuesday morning. This is really going to help to stabilize the atmosphere. Northerly winds tend to do that as opposed to southerly winds. So that's going to put a lot of that instability way off to our south. That's the fuel for thunderstorms. Whereas we could just squeeze out a shower or two. Maybe along the state line we get a garden variety thunderstorm, likely not going to be severe, but a lot more of us are going to be underneath that isolated shower threat than an isolated thunderstorm threat as we go into Tuesday night, and then into Wednesday. But not a lot of green on future track as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Also, it's going to be a mix of partly sunny to mostly cloudy conditions. Further south, there's just likely going to be a little bit more cloud cover throughout the day. We're looking at a pretty near average day as we go into Tuesday, upper 60s to low 70s, with again that chance for showers and thunderstorms mainly further to the south. So as the kids are heading off to school tomorrow, an isolated shower may be possible. You may want to send them off with an umbrella or at the very least a rain jacket because they may need it as they're coming home as well. But as you saw on Future Track, again, we're not eyeing widespread rain as we go not only throughout Tuesday morning, but into the afternoon hours as well. Winds are going to be light and turning from the south to the north as we go throughout the day. There is a look at your 7 and 10 day forecast. Once the rain wraps up on Wednesday, we're set to really sit underneath quiet conditions as we head into the rest of the week, looking at a very beautiful and warm first weekend of fall, upper 70s to low 80s, and then we'll hang out in those mid to upper 70s as we round the first half of next week, which will of course take us closer and closer to the end of September and the start of October.
It always happens too fast.
I know. I kind of really like that little taste of fall we had.
Yeah, I know.
I miss it a little bit. I had somebody message me saying, when is it going to be less humid? And I hope it will be next week because I'm with you. I don't like the humidity this late into the season.
Exactly, but I also like those lows in the 50s.
That is a very nice low, yes.
Those are window opening.
Yes, they are.
All right, thank you, Blaze. And still to come in sports, the Packers are fresh off that heartbreaking loss against the Browns. How the team is learning from the mistakes made in Cleveland.
We got word that our long national late nightmare is over.
Colbert's All New with Scarlett Johansson, CBS Tonight.
And finally tonight, check these folks out. The world's biggest beer bash kicked off over the weekend in Germany with plenty of Americans celebrating Oktoberfest. Even though it's September, tourism officials expect up to 100,000 U.S. visitors. I feel like it's a frat party video. Anyway, to make the trip this year, many of them dressed in dirndls and lederhosen. Nearly everyone with a supersized Stein in their hand. The tradition dates back all the way to 1810 when it began as a royal wedding celebration. More than 2 centuries later, that party is still going strong, like I said, isn't? Yeah. He looks like The Rock or something.
Yeah, and we read a book where the author went to Oktoberfest, and, and he talked about, you know, the history behind how it started with the wedding, and then how it's kind of expanded across the entire world. Oktoberfest in Japan and places that you might not expect it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool to see how it's kind of grown.
It is. It's fun to see here, too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Now, Oktoberfest is not tomorrow, but if you are celebrating, it is going to be partly sunny to mostly cloudy with a shower here or there, and we'll keep that shower chance into Wednesday as well.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. The Late Show is up next, and our next show tomorrow morning at 4:30.